James here. Hello, everybody.
We want to welcome you to a very special weekend. It is called
Global Youth Service Day is where we celebrate the work and service of youth around the country and the world globally.
So we just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. We want to first bring you up to speed, and we're gonna let I'm gonna talk a little bit, and then Eric's gonna talk a little bit. But we are so pleased and elated that you joined us this morning on this special occasion. That despite what's going on, it's a global pandemic going on. That we are still able to get out and be active in our local communities wherever you are. So I just want to bring you up to speed for what Easton Banks Learning Life Center, and if you didn't know, that's what we are representing. Easton Banks Learning Life Center, Project GRAPE. And the GRAPE stands for Growing Readily Available Produce Everywhere. So we lately have been, if you join us on Facebook, hence right here, and Instagram, that we are accepting applications right now for spring and summer produce. You can go to our website at eblcinc.com, click on the link that says Youth Gardening, scroll down, and you will see a link to an application to participate in that particular program. You have to be a local resident of DeKalb County because that's the area in which we serve, as well as outside. If you prove that you have a need, then you can sign up, and we welcome everyone. Last year in 2020, it hit hard with the pandemic, but we were still able to harvest produce that students that we work with one of the high schools in the local area, and a lot of families benefited from it. And not only that we were still able to reach and teach children throughout our local community. I'm not going to speak too much on it, but I'm going to pass it on to Eric. But as well as not only giving out produce because of the community gardens that we oversee, that we were also able to host our first virtual summer youth camp last year. And you have the lucky chance of being a part of that program. Again, we have expanded our services and the type of classes that we're going to offer this year. And if you're interested, you have a youth between the ages of 5 to 14, please join us on that camp. The early bird special for registration ends on May 3rd, and the registration right now is only $50. After that day, will go up to $75, and it's $35 per week. We have an awesome amount of classes that we have formulated that we're offering this year. For one, we're offering coding, creative writing, and at the end of the program, if your student has written, we're going to have a campaign, the one that writes the most creative and innovative book. My publishing company, Conscious of the Heart Publishing, will publish that book, and your youth will become a published author. So I want you to encourage you to reach out to us. Again, visit our website at eblcinc.com, and for both the garden harvest for spring and summer, the summer youth camp, all of that is located on that page. As well as we also have a mentoring program for girls, and it's called Sister Linkage Mentoring. So if you go on our website, you'll be able to see all that we're offering to the local community, your families, and your children, and we hope to hear from you. So I'm going to pass it on to Eric, and he's going to bring you up to speed of more of what we're doing and what we're offering in the community.
So, like Dr. Banks said, we are having, again, for the second time this year, second time in a row, we will be doing our free front door delivery from our gardens that we have planted and matured and harvested. Some by students, other just by the organization itself. In that produce bag, you can expect to have lots of different vegetables like eggplant, radishes, tomatoes, cucumbers, collard greens, mustard greens, carrots, kale, rosemary, mint, parsley, cilantro, basil, everything that you would like to use.
Peaches, blackberries,
yes,
or blueberries.
Yeah, everything that you would love to eat fresh out of a garden, washed, cleansed, prepared in a safe environment, COVID-free. then make sure you head over to our website, evllcinc.com. I'll make sure to post it in the description and the caption once this video goes live, even after we're done with the video. Make sure you go over there. And happy to announce that we did receive, I don't know if you guys, well, you guys should follow us on Instagram and Facebook
and YouTube.
And YouTube, EBLLCINC. We're on everything. That's our handle for everything on social media. But we've been able to receive multiple grants from Foodwell Alliance for community gardens, Youth Service America, Sodexo Stop Hunger Foundation grant, the We Volunteer grant. So these grants will really help us to improve our reach, but also improve the impact that we give to students and their families. So we want to let you guys know about those achievements that we've been able to work hard and get. And for this year, we've been able to partner with a school called Glass School. It's a school here in Stone Mountain, but they now transition to Conyers, Georgia. It's a STEAM school led by Miss Portia Gray, and we work with her students at the community garden called Stevenson Vine Project Community Garden. It's a partnership with us and 2 other organizations that we use to use as a learning environment, as well as a place where community members can come and grow their own produce. And students have been learning how to grow food, what is needed to grow food, how to use that learning experience to reduce hunger, as well as just giving them an outlet to play. And so with that, we're going to move into our little conversation about, like, what does a new reality, how can we imagine a new society where hunger is not a #1 issue and cause of death? So, like, how do you think we can reimagine, like, what do you think is the first step? Not only with gardening and learning how to garden, but what other steps do you think youth can take to reduce hunger?
I think the one thing that came to my mind as we were preparing and setting up for this conversation is that we as a society have to step back and stop thinking as youth, as children that don't have nothing. They don't have enough
to contribute,
intuitiveness to contribute to what's going on in society. And that leads into becoming a leader. You know, there's been this mindset or this conversation back and forth. Are leaders born or are they made? I truly believe that leaders is twofold. Some are made, but some are born with it. It's just like a natural instinct. And I say that because leaders, if you have that leadership part of you, you don't have to have somebody come tell you, I need you to do this, that. It's like step by step.
Yeah.
They see an issue, they see something is wrong, and they jump into it with all their sleeves, pulled up, and they get actively involved. So I believe that youth, to have this reimagined society, I'm not going to even say society, reimagine the way children now, how they want their future to look, that they have to get actively involved now. It don't have to be nothing grandiose, something big, but just in their local community. And it starts within their school. If they see something that's going on like food waste, they can reach out to the school principal, they can reach out to the cafeteria manager, and all the entities that are intertwined within it with the school board, because it's multifaceted on how you have to work with food because of sanitation, and now even more strict with COVID being immense within the whole world. But you can find ways how to reduce food waste. That goes into play because sometimes, if you have a plate of food and you don't eat it, such as an apple, no one has touched it. It went from the person who put it on the plate or the tray, and if that student doesn't eat it, then guess where it goes? It goes into the receptacle. I call it file 13. It goes to the trash. So that's something that students can find out within their embodiment of the school to say, how can we collect that food And then at the end of the day, for children who don't have food readily accessible at home, they can take a little care bag home. So children, students, parents, whoever's watching this on the replay, even you watching us live, that is something that we as a society can do. We can stop, for one, wasting food, because that's food that stop wasting food. That's one way that children can take home, and that food could have been, ingested in somebody's body. So that's one way I think, we can minimize the one food waste, and then help decrease the level of food hunger in the society. But that's like one becoming an active leader. So leaders don't start when you become our age.
Yeah.
They start at a young age, because
we're young too. So
yeah, I'm young at heart. But you have to go and start somewhere. So I would suggest that young people start now.
Yeah. And when you talk about reimagine, that word's always is really thrown around now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of more people are getting into gardening and community gardening, things like that. But if you have not gone to our YouTube, we do have a video discussing like the difference between reuse, and recycle. And one thing you can do to reimagine your society, your community, is use the things in your home that you don't longer need, that you no longer need, but you want to throw away, like toilet paper rolls, paper towel rolls, old milk cartons, orange juice cartons, egg containers that you get from the grocery store, cardboard boxes. Like, you can use these things. For example, cardboard boxes you can use for your raised beds or your in-ground garden. If you have too many weeds, you can cut down the weeds a little bit, lay your cardboard box on top, put your soil on there, and the cardboard acts as a repellent for the weeds. Even though it will break down eventually, it will break down in probably a month. Those weeds will not grow up and harm your soil or just be a pest. Because we all know that weeds can be very invasive and very much a pest. For your egg holders, you can put soil in those. Those can be your seed starters instead of going to the grocery store or the Home Depot, Lowe's, spending $30 for each one. You can just use the egg cartons. For the milk cartons and the juice containers, you can use those as seed starters, or you can break, if they're cardboard, you can break them down as well in your garden. For food, as you was talking about food waste is such a detrimental act in itself, because I don't know if you guys know this, but lettuce, the heads of lettuce takes 100+ years to decompose.
I did not know that.
And the landfill. So if we all waste 10 heads of lettuce
per household,
that's 100+ years for each head of lettuce. So that's what 10 times 100. 1,000. That's 1,000 years for a heads of lettuce to break down over time. All of us will not be here for that 1,000 years. But you can put that, you can break it down, chop it up into small pieces, and start a compost. You can do that at your school. You have to, like Dr. Banks said, talk to your principal, because there are rules and regulations to doing compost in a school facility, a public facility, because it's health and risk. So you do want to make sure you discuss this with your principal and your teachers to get it started, but you can do it. It's easy. You can use the eggshells, apple rinds, banana peels, lettuce, anything, orange hulls, anything that's a vegetable that's not, what's the word? A produced food item, like a burger. You can't put burgers in your compost. Worms won't eat the burgers. It has to be like fresh produce that you won't eat before it goes bad.
And also tea bags.
Tea bags, coffee, old coffee rinds. Things like that have not been produced in a factory. It's been grown naturally, and it's a natural product. So you can do all of these things, and you can reuse and recycle all of these things, so it won't go to a landfill, because we're running out of space on planet Earth. As construction continues to happen for homes and storage facilities and businesses, we're running out of green space. Most homes don't have that much green space, but you can still garden in pots, containers, your egg cartons, your milk jugs, things like that. But you want to be aware, that's the word, aware of what you're doing to the earth and to yourself and to your community. Because we only have this one life, and we want to make sure it's precious for the next generation of youth.
And that's one thing we are an advocate for, the next group of children, the next group of leaders. So as I'm piggybacking on what Eric said and then what I alluded to earlier, you don't have to wait to when you're out of high school, out of college, and in the world, the working world, to start being leaders. Start right now, today, doing something proactive in your area. Leadership goes out the walls of your school. It can be at home. It can be in your local community. When you find there is a need, say for instance, going around picking up trash. You and a couple of friends could have your mask on. And as I always like to say, continue to be safe and wise. But you can go out and clean up the environment, because that's one thing, that those things that are people loosely throw out, they don't decompose, like plastic bottles. They don't decompose. It's going to sit there till someone picks it up. So that could be one thing as far as being proactive in your community. And I want you to, as we leave today from this discussion, as Eric said earlier, become aware. But I also want to say be proactive. Be proactive in your community. When you see there's a need and something that needs to take place, be proactive in getting actively involved, because that's one part of leaders. Leaders do not micromanage. I know you may be young, you don't know what that statement means. Micromanagement means I tell you to do something and you go ahead and do it. And then if you don't do it the way I think you need to do it, then I jump in and do it for you. No. Be proactive being leaders, meaning you tell the person, or you show them by leading by example. So that's part of being leaders in our community. Get up, get proactive, and I don't say it in a negative way. That's the way I speak. But anyway, be proactive as far as getting out there and showing others that, hey, yes, I'm young, but I have a voice to say something about what is going on, what is going to impact my life and my future. So that's what I'm alluding to.
Yeah.
So Eric, take it back.
So yeah, be proactive, be aware, and just know that if you need help, there are adults that will help you. Your principal, teachers, organizational leaders like us,
and you can reach
youth
out to
leaders.
us.
Yep. And if you want to know how to create a community garden in your community, how to start a school garden, how to start composting at your school, things like that in relation to protecting your community, you can always reach out to me or Dr. Banks. My email is eric.bankslearning@yahoo.com. Dr. Banks' email is bankslearning@yahoo.com. You can reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, EBLLCINC. We will be coming out with more content for you guys in relation to gardening and leadership and mentoring and all different aspects of youth and how to become a well-rounded human being on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, like the videos, comment, share the videos, share, and hit the bell notification to be notified of when we release new videos on YouTube. Follow us everywhere.
Yes, follow us.
Yeah.
As we conclude this conversation today, please, if you're in where we are, which I'm sure where you are, if you're in the DeKalb County area, it's kind of wet and murky, but take some of the suggestions that Eric just offered to you in regarding to starting your own home-based garden. That you can start by composting. It doesn't take much room or space to do so. So if you're in a closed space like an apartment and you don't have too much green space, or they will not allow you to do so, you can start get a medium-sized pot. And they're everywhere. I mean, Family Dollar, Dollar General. We're not going to promote those companies, but I'm just giving you an example where you can go and get it. And then Eric just told you simple ways, the stuff that you already have in your home that you can reuse, that you can, recycle and start your own little garden or kitchen garden, I would say, at your home. So as we end up, I'm going to allow Eric to share with you how ways, again, you can contact us if you need to, how you can register to get on our email, our monthly newsletter,
Mm-hmm.
as well as become join in on uh, being a recipient of the spring summer garden. And also we have another thing that we're promoting, that if you don't have green space, that if you don't have enough room to grow your own vegetables, that we do have with one of our partnerships, that you can subscribe and become a member with a small nominal fee, and you would have your own raised bed to grow your own vegetables. So you would come physically and plant your own vegetables in this plot, and then you can see the progress from seed to what I would say,
to seed, from seed to seedling to maturity to harvest.
And you can take it home and have it for your family. But I'm going to let him share with you on that part, and then as we end it, then I have an announcement to make for back to school. Even though school has not yet ended and is coming up, but I'm going to share with something with you that if you have children that need school supplies or clothing, I'm going to provide you with some information on how you can get on our list to be a recipient of that as well.
And before I give you all that information, I know it's a lot, but like Dr. Banks was saying, starting your own compost at home, starting your own kitchen garden, your patio garden, you can use a lot of different things. There are a lot of different inexpensive materials that you can use. For example, to start compost, you can use a small garbage receptacle, plastic container. It could be like 5 feet, 3 to 5 feet. It doesn't have to be huge. All you need is some soil, and some grass clippings, leaves, straw, the different types of produce waste that we talked about: lettuce, apple, orange rinds, banana peels, coffee grinds, tea bags. You can also put paper towel rolls in. Just rip it up; it will decompose. And you can also incorporate worms into your compost. At my home, I do composting, and I have worms in there. I don't always see them, but when I dig and turn the soil every now and then, they're there making babies, having more worms go into it. You always want to make sure that your compost is moist, not too wet, not too dry, because it won't continue to decompose the material. So make sure it's moist. Add all of those materials and components into your compost, and after a month probably not a month, but up to 3 months after that, you can have dark, rich soil that will give a lot of food.
Full of nutrients.
Yeah, a lot of nutrients to your soil when you start growing. As far as registering to be on our list of recipients for the free produce front door delivery, all you have to do is go to eblllcinc.com, go to the youth gardening tab, scroll down, you'll see it. It's very clear. The registration link and information is there. Click it, put all your information in, and we will contact you once produce starts growing. Well, it's already growing, but once it gets to a point where we can harvest it in a good amount for each family, each household, we will contact you. Don't worry.
And also share with them about summer camp.
Oh yes, summer camp. So you can also register for summer camp by going to the same website, same tab, eblllcinc.com. Go to youth gardening? Mm-hmm. The youth gardening tab, and we also have registration links there for summer camp. We'll have coding, creative writing, art.
Thumbs up to youth gardening.
Thumbs up to youth gardening. We have a large set of curriculum that we're ready to share with our students.
Yes.
Go register your children. We're doing age 5 through age 14. Like Dr. Banks said, May 3rd is the last day for early bird registration, which is only $50. You will get all the materials needed for summer camp, as well as a summer camp shirt for that amount. After May 3rd, prices do go up to $75. after your registration fee is paid in full, you can, um, after it's paid in full, weekly fees will be due $35 each week. If you need to do set up payment plans, you'll have to speak with Dr. Banks,
And we'll work that out.
and we'll work that out. We know parents are going through a lot. It's a tough time still after a year of COVID, and so we want to make sure that not only your child have a great experience, but you have a great experience for getting them registered. So please reach out to Dr. Banks at bankslearning@yahoo.com if you need further assistance with this whole process. Next,
Newsletter.
for the newsletter, go to our website again, eblllcinc.com. There will be a tab that pops up on your screen. It's a pop-up, and it says, do you want to sign up for our newsletter? Put your email in. We inform all of our members on the newsletter about things that's going on in the community gardens, in the school gardens, with the organization, with the different programs that we have, and other things going on in the community. So sign up for that. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube. Like I said, EBLLCINC, Easton Banks Learning and Life Center Incorporated. You can find us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share, comment. We will be putting this live on Instagram. Well, it's going to be on Instagram and Facebook. We'll also post it on YouTube as well for future viewers to see. Anything else?
Okay, the exciting news.
If you are in Atlanta, Georgia, DeKalb County, or surrounding communities of DeKalb, and you want to grow your own food, but you don't know how to, two, you don't have the space really for it, even in containers, you can always become a part of the Stevenson Vine Project Community Garden. We have plots and rows, plots, which includes the rows and the raised beds. There are nominal fees for participating because we want to be able to give you a full experience with protecting your produce, giving you the seeds. It's a lot that goes into it, and we want to make sure that we can keep it up, maintain, all about maintenance. So there is a nominal fee. You can, I don't know if
it's on the same page.
Okay, same page, eblllcinc.com, Youth Gardening tab, scroll down, you'll see the registration link for that. If you need more information, you can email me at eric.bankslearning@yahoo.com for more information on how you can become a community garden member. We want to be able to provide that experience for you and your children. Not only will you be able to grow the produce, but
you get some teaching mechanisms and techniques.
You get a lot of great tips on how you can not only keep gardening at the community garden, but also create a community garden at home. How you can also start community gardens in your area. Before I pass it back to Dr. Banks for the last announcement, if you are a community organization, nonprofit, and you want to be able to create that type of experience for youth in your programs or in your community, you can always reach out to us for consultation. There will be a fee because this is a lot of work that we put into the curriculum and programming, but we would like to help you for a fee. But if you would like to reach out to us, you can reach out to us at bankslearning@yahoo.com. And now over to Dr. Banks.
So I want to just say that we just thank you all for joining us today. I know it's Saturday and most of you are like, but we just want to celebrate youth in their environment and just bring you up to speed on what we've been doing with the youth in our community. So the announcement I want to make is that, as Eric stated earlier, we've just been getting so much support from other organizations that look at the activity and what we're doing. So as part of that activity, the mentoring program, Sister Linkage Mentoring Program, is proud to announce that we will be sponsoring up to 14 young ladies, because that program is specifically for girls. We're sponsoring 14 girls to be recipients of back to school supplies. So if you're interested, the link is not up yet, but if you want to stay abreast to it and you're interested and you have a youth in your household, unfortunately we can only support one student, one young lady per household, because we want to be able to reach at least as much as we can based on the funding that we receive per the grant. So if you're interested and you have a student in your household, or you know someone who will be in need of back to school supplies or clothing, please reach out to me, Dr. Banks, at Banks, again, Banks Learning, BANKS, learning@yahoo.com. And also with Eric, if you don't get me, you can reach out to Eric, and that's ERIC, Eric.Banks, same spelling, at yahoo.com. So that's the announcement I want to make. We will have a registration and flyers and information up this upcoming week. But if you see the video now, or you're looking at it on the replay over the weekend, please reach out to me, because it's come first come, first serve. So the maximum we have is 14 students. So if you're in the local community, DeKalb, Gwinnett, or Clayton County, please reach out to us, or even Rockdale. Again, that's bankslearning@yahoo.com. And it's the first 14 students or parents that reach out to me that say, hey, I would like my child to be a recipient. Those when we were seeing the link in regards to signing up, because you have to register to become, so we can know how to proceed. Again, we only are fortunate enough to only provide one young lady per household at this present time. We're looking at more funding, and prayerfully we'll have more and we can expand our reach. But again, reach out to me as soon as possible, bankslearning@yahoo.com. And that is all I have for you today. So please follow us on every social media outlet that we have. We have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
We also have TikTok.
Oh, I didn't know that. So you might see me doing some crazy
I
stuff.
totally forgot we're on TikTok. Project Great is specifically for the garden experience and all that goes into that. But follow us, Project Great, TikTok. We have 2 videos up so far. Follow us. We want to get to at least 100 by the end of May. So yeah, follow us on that too.
So thank you for joining us on this beautiful day, even though it's raining where we are, but it's still beautiful. And continue, the celebration doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So find some way to do something proactive in your local community, and continuously follow us. And if you would like to support us, provide a donation, go to the same website at ebllc.com. Every level of contribution, even if it's just $1, we accept it all. So thank you, and have a productive weekend and week ahead. Thank you. Bye.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to turn it off. I don't know how to turn Instagram off.
So that is the blooper. Bye. So bye. Continues to follow us and share.